In my course, I have the option to back up and restore my course, which allows me to create a backup that lives on the Angel server with where my course is online. And if I want to, if I've created a backup, then I can come and restore to that backup. So it kind of gives me an option to go back to a previous version of my course, which might be handy if I had some corrupted files or some major changes to my course that I wanted to reverse. But I also might want to make a copy of my course and take it completely outside of Angel for either for local storage or for use in another version of Angel somewhere or another learning management system. I also might want to take content that was given to me by someone else from another system and import that into my course. So I have on the Manage tab here, right below Backup and Restore, I've got the Import console and the Export console. And I can see that this particular course that I'm in has had one content package imported into it at some time in the past. If I wanted to create a backup of this course that I could export, or an archive as it's called, I could click on the Export console and I can choose what format I want my file to be. My two choices right now are Angel format or common cartridge. So if I was creating a backup file that I knew I was going to be using in Angel, I would choose the Angel format. If I wasn't really sure where this content was going to go, in other words, after I export it, am I going to use it in another system like Blackboard or WebCT or Canvas or something like that, or I just don't know, then I probably am going to choose common cartridge, which is sort of a more general option. But in either case, I'll choose my export file type. And then it asks me, what do I want to take along? Now, when I get to the process of importing this content into another course shell, I'll have the option of also choosing what things I want to bring in. So if I take everything with me on my way out, then that gives me more options down the road. So I'll just click Next. And then it tells me that my export is queued and that I can browse away from this and let it do its work. And depending on the size of my course and how much overall activity there is in the system will determine how long it takes to create the archive file. Chances are it will take just a few minutes, but it may take several hours. But if I go to the Manage tab and I click on the Export console again, I can see that there is one backup that's now queued here that I just created, and then there's a backup that was created today, October 8th. So I've got one backup and then one archive that's queued. And then also at some point in the past, I created a backup file which I then deleted. So if I wait and come back, I'll see my queued file here. And once it's finished processing, I'll have a name over here, a file name, and I can right click on that and then save it to my desktop or save it to my local computer somewhere. So very similar to the export console, I also have the import console here, where if someone has given me what's called a content package, I can go and import that. This would be like if I'd gotten some content from my book publisher or from a colleague or a previous archive that I had created. I could import this content package here. Notice I also have the option to import calendar announcements from a text file. And I have the option to copy a course or use a master course. So copy a course means take everything out of another course that I'm currently an editor in and that's open and copy it into this course. And that might be the gradebook settings, the lesson content, the calendar items, everything. I can copy that content straight over from another course. Or if I have access to a master course, I can choose to select what master it is that I want to use. And then I'm going to be able to then copy everything from that master course into my course shell here. So master courses are usually used in one of two ways. Either an individual instructor will have their own master course that they've requested from eLearning, and they'll create a copy of their course, and then every time they teach it they'll just initialize from that master copy. Or it might be used where multiple individuals are going to be teaching the same course, and so everybody initializes from that same shared master. The copy a course option looks very similar to the master course, only rather than selecting just master courses, I'm going to be able to select from any course that's currently open where I have editor level rights.